So her story made headlines. After being diagnosed with terminal brain cancer in 2014, Brittany Maynard decided to die on her own terms, ending medications prescribed by her doctor. Brittany was just 29 years old when her decision launched a national conversation about end-of-life rights, a movement that just hit a major setback. Here's a reminder of Brittany's story. A year after getting married, Brittany Maynard began suffering from severe headaches. And at just 29 years old, a doctor gave her devastating news. She had stage 4 terminal brain cancer. The prognosis kept getting worse.
I went from having a few years to 6 months. This cancer was going to kill me, and the way it was going to kill me was terrible.
She decided she wanted to live the rest of her life on her own terms. So Brittany and her husband Dan moved from California to Oregon, which at the time was one of just 4 states where terminally ill patients could legally get drugs to end their own lives. She chronicled her journey in videos watched by millions.
I can't even tell you the amount of relief that it provides me to know that I don't have to die the way that it's been described to me that my brain tumor would take me on its own.
Brittany became a fierce advocate for death with dignity laws.
I will die upstairs in my bedroom that I share with my husband.
On November 1st, 2014, Brittany wrote on Facebook that she knew it was time to go. Surrounded by loved ones, she took the medication that ended her life.
It truly was the most peaceful experience that you could ever hope for when you talk about a person's passing.
Since her death, Dan has tried to fulfill his wife's legacy, fighting to pass right-to-die laws in 3 more states and in Washington, D.C. One of those states was California, Brittany's home state. And just a few weeks ago, 2 years after the law took effect there, a judge ruled it unconstitutional. Joining me now, Brittany Maynard's husband, Dan Diaz. Dan, so good to have you here.
Thank you.
So it's a setback, there's no question, and this judge hung it on a technicality that the law was passed while they were in special session.
Right.
But what do you think is really going on here?
The plaintiffs, in this case, the opponents, they'll do whatever they possibly can to overturn this law. And it's frustrating because 76% of Californians agree with Brittany that a terminally ill individual should have this option at end of life. So the case brought forth by the plaintiffs who are opposed to this legislation, and now this judge's ruling really sets us back 2 years. People who are now in Brittany's predicament, terminally ill with 6 months or less to live, they're now wondering, do they have to do what Brittany did,
right,
and leave home just so that they could have this option?
How you doing?
I still have, good days and bad days. It's funny seeing that introduction of Brittany. It brings back a lot of emotion. But this is how I honor her and keep my promise to Brittany, fighting for terminally ill individuals so that nobody else would ever have to leave home after being told that you have 6 months to live.
Right, and those last 6 months matter more than ever, and you have to leave. You have to go to unfamiliar territory.
Right.
The opponents, they have religious objections. Mm-hmm. They say, doctors wield enormous power and potentially, could abuse it, that there could lead to elder abuse, all the stuff. You are a Catholic. You get the religious piece of this.
Totally. And all of those, what I call the false narratives, their campaign, the opponents, is based on fear, not the reality of what a terminally ill individual is going through. And yes, I went to Catholic school. I was an altar boy. The bishop of the Oakland Diocese presented me with an award for service in my Catholic community. So I am well aware of the position of the leadership of the church. But interestingly, as far as congregants, the people who go to church, support for medical aid in dying amongst Catholics is 70%. So it's right in line with the general population.
That's the thing that gets lost, is that Brittany had a commitment to live her life well, what was left of her life well.
Right.
The decision about death was made by someone else.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's what people miss. This
Right.
isn't the same as you're unhappy and you choose to end your life prematurely.
Exactly. The only choice that Brittany has is Brittany is not choosing between living and dying. That choice to continue to live is no longer on the table for her. The only choice that Brittany, or the only option that she gets to choose between, is two different methods of dying. One would be gentle, the other would be struggling and in pain. And that's where Brittany simply said that, you know, she would prefer to be able to look around the room and say, I love you, to the people, to her friends, her family, and then have a gentle dying process. Left to run its course, I mean, she was already suffering from pain that not even morphine could alleviate, the inability to sleep for days on end, the nausea, the vomiting, the seizures are what terrified her the most. When those would occur, the small seizures would leave her unable to communicate, to speak, typically for 20 to 30 minutes. When she would have the full grand mal seizures and every muscle in her body is contracting, as she's coming out of those, blood's coming out of her mouth because she's bitten through part of her tongue. Thanks. That's just the reality of what she's dealing with. And so for her, what comes next as that tumor continues to grow, the likelihood that she would go blind, that she would become paralyzed, that's where Brittany said, I will not die that way. I want to be myself. I want to have a little bit of control of how my final few days on this green earth play out. That's what this program is about.
Millions of Americans want desperately. I know you're working here in New York to help us have this right. And California, it's a setback, but it's by no means final. We're going to continue to follow it. Thank you for all the good work you've done, Dan.
Thank you.
You have the empathy of everyone watching.
Thank you so much.
All love and support to you. We'll be right back.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.